Welcome to Fairy Tale Picnic put on by the Ponoka Jubilee Library. Today we will be reading Giraffes Can't Dance, written by Giles Andreae and illustrated by Guy Parker Rees, and Neck and Neck, written by Elise, Parsley. After that, we will be creating a dancing giraffe craft. Craft kits are available for pickup at the library, so make sure you come and grab one. Our first book that we will be reading is called Neck and Neck, and it is by Elise, Parsley. Life at the zoo was glorious for Leopold. Every day kids laughed and cheered, and the snacks. Oh, there were such delicious snacks. This morning began with the usual squeals of admiration. Oh boy, the tallest animal in the world! I bet he can see all the way to my house! I just love this guy! At that, Leopold sighed and turned, and gasped at the gleaming smile bobbing beside him. It's just like the real thing, only better, Leopold heard between giggles. This giraffe is so cheerful. Well, sheesh, I can be cheerful too, Leopold grinned. It zooms and it bounces, said the kid. I zoom, I bounce, thought Leopold. It's flexible, said the kid. It smells fresh, and I don't have to keep feeding this giraffe. Leopold glanced at the snack dispenser. Rats. He huffed off to his favorite tree for some alone time. Well, see if I care about you and that grinning goofus. Up in the prickly tree, Leopold sniffed and sulked and, ouch, was struck by an idea. He chomped off a branch. Charge! Blam! And now that I have your undivided attention, bring on the laughter, the cheers, and a fistful of snacks. Huh? The little boy's walking away. Leopold pondered where he had gone wrong when... The kid hooted and danced and tripped. Leopold watched a dozen scrawny necks drift up, up, up. To save or not to save? Not to save. Leopold alone would be adored, right? Wah, said the kid. Leopold stomped back to his tree. Honestly, those shiny airheads have ruined everything. Next thing you know, they'll be taking over my habitat. Oh no, they're in his tree. Leopold groaned and sighed and stretched. He cleared his throat. Fine, I give in. I just can't compete. The kid jumped up. You did it, he squealed. You saved them. You used your real, live, fuzzy, smelly, long neck and you saved them. There was laughter. There was cheering. And the snacks? Those snacks tasted better than ever. The end. The second book we will be reading today is Giraffes Can't Dance. It's written by Giles Andreae and it's illustrated by Guy Parker Rees. Gerald was a tall giraffe whose neck was long and slim, but his knees were awfully crooked and his legs were rather thin. He was very good at standing still and munching shoots off trees, but when he tried to run around, he buckled at the knees. Now every year in Africa, they hold the jungle dance, where every single animal turns up to skip and prance. And this year when the day arrived, poor Gerald felt so sad, because when it came to dancing, he was really very bad. The warthogs started waltzing, and the rhinos rock and rolled. The lions danced a tango that was elegant and bold. The chimps all did a cha-cha with a very Latin feel, and 8 baboons then teamed up for a splendid Scottish reel. Gerald swallowed bravely as he walked toward the floor, but the lions saw him coming and they soon began to roar. Hey, look at clumsy Gerald, the animals all sneered. Giraffes can't dance, you silly fool. Oh, Gerald, you're so weird. Gerald simply froze up. He was rooted to the spot. They're right, he thought. I'm useless. Oh, I feel like such a clot. So he crept off from the dance floor and he started walking home. He'd never felt so sad before, so sad and so alone. Then he found a little clearing and he looked up to the sky. The moon can be so beautiful, he whispered with a sigh. Excuse me, coughed a cricket who'd seen Gerald earlier on, but sometimes when you're different, you just need a different song. So listen to the swaying grass and listen to the trees. To me, the sweetest music is those branches in the breeze. So imagine that the lovely moon is playing just for you. Everything makes music if you really want it to. With that, the cricket smiled and picked up his violin. Then Gerald felt his body do the most amazing thing. his hooves had started shuffling, making circles on the ground. His neck was gently swaying, and his tail was swishing round. He threw his legs out sideways, and he swung them everywhere. Then he did a backward somersault and leapt up in the air. Gerald felt so wonderful, his mouth was open wide. "I'm dancing, yes, I'm dancing, I am dancing," Gerald cried. Then one by one each animal who'd been there at the dance, well, Gerald boogied on and watched him quite entranced. They shouted, "It's a miracle, we must be in a dream. Gerald's the best dancer that we've ever seen. How did you learn to dance like that? Please, Gerald, tell us how." But Gerald simply twirled around and finished with a bow. Then he raised his head and looked up at the moon and stars above. "We all can dance," he said, "when we find music that we love." And that finishes our story time of Fairy Tale Picnic. Now it is time to make our dancing giraffe craft. In your craft pack, you're going to find a giraffe head, some string and beads, crayons, a little piece of tape, and a popsicle stick. And then you also want to grab some glue and scissors. So first up, you're just going to color in that giraffe head. We used yellow and brown, but you could use different colors if you prefer. As you can see, all colored in. Next step is to just cut out that giraffe head using your scissors. So following all the way around the paper, cutting off all the excess. And then you're going to grab that popsicle stick and tape or glue your giraffe head onto the stick, just like so. Next, we're going to grab our string, and we're going to thread one bead onto one end and double knot it on just a little ways down, pretty close to the end. And we're going to repeat that same process on the other side with the second bead. Then grabbing our scissors, just trimming off that excess string so the bead is on the very end. Then we're going to take that string, place our popsicle stick underneath it, and double knot it around the popsicle stick. And there you have a dancing giraffe. He can shake, he can move, all that fun stuff. Thanks for tuning into this week's Fairy Tale Picnic. We'll see you guys next week.